Geyzer. Geyzer? Well, he's referred to as Geyzer, so I'll go with that. Geyzer is essentially the first boss of Dragon Quest VIII that must be fought, with his name seemingly being localized from Zaban, according to the Romanized kanji for his name, which is an onomatopoeia for the sound of a splashing in Japanese culture. His design is essentially a red-orange palette swap of the Merman monster line that was first introduced in Dragon Quest III: The Seeds of Salvation, which first released back in 1988 for the Famicom. After the party is chased out of Fairbury by an angry, violent mob mistaking Trode for a monster, they are followed by Valentina, the daughter of the Great Kaldrasha, who used to be a world-famous fortune teller prior to losing his old crystal ball a decade prior. However, his crystal ball was in the nearby waterfall cave. Geyser has a cross-shaped scar on his forehead from when the Great Kaldrasha threw his crystal ball away and it struck him when falling into the waterfall below, which also seemingly gave him permanent brain damage.
I did it! I pulled it out! And with no brain damage.
As he reveals that the wound never fully healed, as it still gives him intense pain as well as his propensity for malapropisms. When the hero tries reaching for the hovering crystal ball, he swims up the waterfall and snatches it away at the last second before questioning him on if he is the owner after introducing himself. If the player answers no, then he will go back into the waterfall, but if the player answers yes, then he will become hostile and start a boss fight, which is necessary as defeating him is a prerequisite for retrieving the crystal ball, and upon his defeat he will realize that the hero cannot possibly be a fortune teller as he is far too strong to be one before he realizes who the hero is, as the waterfall rears many humors, as the flashback to Dual Magus' curse afflicting Trodain is shown, with the hero himself being the sole individual completely unaffected by said
run by thorns, and that only one person inside survived. He set off on a journey, leading a course and heart with a lone driver. As I thought, that was you! I don't know what you want with this crystal ball, but it's yours now. I accept the hands. Or is it defeat?
curse for some reason. This is before Geyzer formally accepts the hands before relinquishing the crystal ball to him, on the condition that if he ever meets the fortune teller who wounded him, they should pass on the message, "Don't throw things into the FALLWATER." After the hero returns the crystal ball to the...
One last thing. Should you meet the true owner of this crystal ball, tell him this from me. Don't throw things in the FALLWATER! So, where they fell. Oh!
The great Kaldrasha, and he and Valentina convince him to return to his old fortune-telling ways. He discovers that it has been chipped a decade prior due to how incredibly thick Geyzer's skull was, as well as the fact that he scratched a message into it with his claws, calling the Great Kaldrasha a half-wit, while seething with vengeful fury in the 10 years since.
Someone has scratched some letters next to the chip. What? Half-wit? Who's the half-wit? What ignorant lowlife would do this to my crystal ball?